And now, back to PTR Radio with Mike, the Ape Man. Mike, the Ape Man.
My mother had one of those Euro sealers, and I swear to Christ, she tried to Euro seal everything. I was afraid to piss my pants, afraid she'd try and Euro seal my dick. I swear to God, she fucking used that thing on everything.
PTR Radio.
And welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb.
So before the show, we were having a discussion about overusing label makers to label everything.
Yeah.
And then you come up with that little entry.
But,
That's well made there.
Hey, sometimes it just happens. I would love to take credit and say, yeah, I planned it that way. No, didn't. Happy accidents. Happy accidents. So it's April Fool's Day. And Colin pointed out to me before the show, actually, that I fell for one. I didn't fall for it, but I didn't even notice it. That's how subtle of an April Fool's Day joke it was.
You were just annoyed by it.
Yeah, I was really annoyed by it. So, as is usually the thing on April Fool's Day, a bunch of the websites go and do funny things. We used to be a member of a network where we decided that we would do classical music for 24 hours on April Fool's Day. And we redid the website and we did all kinds of stuff. And it was all classical. Well, let me assure you, nothing has been done to PTR Radio in a long time because we don't have the energy. All right. We're not about to do a one-day joke on you. It's just not going to happen.
And it's old.
Yeah. But luckily, there are still websites out there that do, and one of them was which one was it? It was the support site. What was it?
Oh, Stack Overflow.
Stack Overflow, which is a geek's friend. Basically, it's a big message boardy type place where people ask questions and other people answer them incorrectly, and then other people bully that person that answered it incorrectly and say, "No, stupid, this is the way it's supposed to be answered." And then somebody else replies and say, "Oh, ha ha ha, you misspelled this, or you put this variable in the wrong place. You're the idiot." It's very much an IT bully playground. Well, they did a flashback on their website to where it looks like it was done in the early 90s. So complete with mouse trailer and everything. I just know that when I was trying to find support for a real problem today, I got very annoyed and thought, why is Bing sending me to all these horrible support sites? And I blamed Bing. And so I went to Google, and lo and behold, I went to different support sites, and I thought, stupid Bing, being Bing again. Why won't Microsoft kill Bing? They kill everything else.
So one of my favorite things on April Fool's Day is to go to thinkgeek.com, which is probably the only time I go to ThinkGeek anymore because, quite frankly, I don't have that kind of wall space, shelf space, or discretionary income that I want to buy stupid shit with.
Yeah.
So, but every April Fool's, they have products that you can actually vote on to try and make one of them become real.
Well, they started that a few years ago because it used to be that they would just get enough emails going, "Hey, why don't you make the 8-bit tie a real thing?"
Or what was it? The iPad arcade thing.
Yeah, the iCade.
That became the iCade. That became a real thing. Well, now they have a bunch of stuff listed up there, and they're taking a vote on what what you would like to see, and you can select all. I will say that I only picked one of the items there.
Now, Mike, did you notice that not all of them are available for you to pick from? So, yeah. So to give people an example, so here is ThinkGeek site. All right, so you've got the Banksy toaster, you've got the Kirby Roomba, the Flaming Jam Hoop, the Mjolnir mailbox, the Beanbag onesie, the Captain Marvel pager, motion controlled Mimic package, Nerf nuke, the Power Wheels Desert Drifter, and the Plumbus. All right, So you've got all those things. Well, you can click on one, and then when you click buy, it takes you to the voting page. Okay, and it goes, haha, we got you. Which one would you like to see made into a real thing? But when you go to that page, absent is the Kirby Roomba and the Nerf Nuke. You cannot select from those to be real things.
I was like, you were missing. What? Oh, there's two more.
That aren't on the list?
No, because Where's Barb?
Oh, Where's Barb, the book, and
The Bicycle
Horn of Gondor. Yeah, I don't know that those are on there either.
Nope, they're not.
Yeah. So my thought is, for the Nerf, it's pretty simple. All right, that's a licensing thing. They couldn't get the licensing rights to it. Kirby's probably along the same rights, because that's what, Nintendo, right?
Yeah, I think they have lots of Nintendo contacts.
Yeah. And the Plumbus isn't there either. That's Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So you can't pick from everything. You can only pick from a subset. But yeah.
So of that subset, would you care to guess which I picked? I wanted to be notified if it becomes real.
Well, you obviously wanted the Captain Marvel pager because you're in the telecom industry.
I believe you wanted one that had is that a song from the 90s that it's derived from?
No.
Okay.
It's not the one that I actually shared on my Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I shared that one before I found out that they had multiple items.
Ah.
That was the first one that popped up.
Did you want the Mjolnir mailbox?
I want the Mjolnir mailbox. You know, I know damn well my wife will not let me put that at our house. I still want it. If I would get that, and I would just keep it in a box until we moved. And that would become a bargaining chip when we move. That if my wife wants the extra bathroom, then I get to put the Mjolnir mailbox out.
You get to make
and when
the
she
mailbox.
says no, I say, okay, then the compromise is you have to get the mail every day, and you have to sort the mail, and my mail will go into the Mjolnir mailbox outside, which will be mounted on the wall outside my office.
Yeah.
So you now have a job.
You made her Postmaster General of Butterstown.
Yes.
So
somehow I don't think that will fly either. But yeah, I must have missed it. But yeah, I for some reason I thought I just think that'd be cool. I also know that in this neighborhood, if I were to have that mailbox, it would get stolen pretty darn quick. So we don't need that.
yeah, that is you can't have nice things in bad neighborhoods.
Or even good neighborhoods sometimes.
Yeah. Sorry, I am working to try and get the social up so that we can get.
What are you doing? Well, I'm kind of watching the Facebook feed as well, so if it doesn't come through on social, it's no big deal. Of course, I don't know what's going on, but it seems like just in general, Facebook has been very quiet lately.
Yeah, it has.
I don't know if it's because most people are just like hanging around Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and they don't have time to be on Facebook because they're too busy researching how to, okay. Her latest blunder, look, I don't like to pick on her, but her latest thing was where she talked about how an entire party created rules and ratified the Constitution so that a Republican president couldn't be reelected, talking about FDR.
Yep.
And imposing term limits. Meanwhile, she is in a position that does not have a term limit. So I'm kind of...
Well, and she got the information wrong.
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
Well, okay, so yes and no. Yes, it was created as a result of FDR's tenure, but it was created after he died.
Right.
So, yes, he is the only president to serve more than 2 terms, but I think it's a stretch to say that she was correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
however, the point still stands. congressmen and women and senators do not have term limits. So she is in a position that she is criticizing the fact that we have term limits, but the term limits don't apply to her. But didn't she also say at one time that she thought there should be term limits and that Congress should not receive pay when there's a government shutdown, but yet she still took her check? I can't.
Yeah, I can't keep up with it.
I'm confusing myself now.
Although the proper response to her is not to tell her that the solution to climate change is to have more babies. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, that's well, actually, let's not.
I'm just saying.
This was when
in the realm of stupid responses, it's a pretty big one. In the midst of the Me Too movement, I'm going to tell this young woman that she needs to be barefoot pregnant in the kitchen making me a sandwich. It's what I'm going to tell her. That's essentially what it boiled down to.
No. Okay. No, that's not.
Okay, well, that's the way I read it.
That's because you actually have to have watched him actually giving his little speech. And then you look at him going, what?
Okay, so you're saying it's worse than that.
He literally stood there in Congress next to a poster board with pictures of babies of every possible ethnicity, going on and on about how people need to have more babies.
Well, and wasn't there one of Aquaman? I know there was a big argument online that the posters were so good that they had to have been green screened. They had to have been photoshopped. Because this man paid...
Not this guy's posters. This guy's posters looked like they just gone to Poster Art Are Us and just got stock photos are us and said, give me a picture of babies.
No, is this Senator Mike Lee?
That's not the one where he was showing babies.
Okay. Well, I like this one because this is Senator Mike Lee, who said, here, Senator uses Star Wars poster image, writing an image of Reagan riding a dinosaur to blast New Deal. So he showed pictures, and I think we're going to get some video here. Oh, maybe we won't.
No, that's USA Today. Do not do a USA Today video.
Okay. But anyway, so yeah, but there was a big discussion. Okay, so here we can grab just this still, I think. Maybe. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, so we had Reagan riding a dinosaur, we had Luke on a tauntaun, and we had Aquaman and your babies.
Yes, there's the babies.
There's your babies. All right. So, but we also had this, we also had that, and we also had that. All right. So, we're in a world where on the congressional floor, the only thing he was missing was Hitler riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
And I'm sorry, Mike. I do have to say I liked AOC's reply to that particular speech.
Which was...
This is proof that you can do anything. If he can be in Congress, then you can do anything you want to.
Yeah, like many other women and working people, I occasionally suffer from imposter syndrome. Those small moments, especially on harder days, where you wonder if the haters are right. But then they do things like this to clear it right up. If this guy can be a senator, you can do anything. End quote. So,
say that particular quote I liked.
I am not saying that she's not wackadoo.
A broken clock is right twice a day, okay?
Yeah.
So there have been things that she has said that I have agreed with.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not make a mountain out of a molehill here, okay? She's still about as bright as a blackout.
Yes.
I can't...
No, wait. Okay. So if we're going to... Let me do some politics here, which is more interesting and less likely to cause...
Less diverting?
Yes.
An aneurysm?
Division?
So we were actually in the middle of an election here in Central Illinois.
Yes.
Because we're electing the new city board and school board.
Yep. And our choices are a crap sandwich or a douche.
So we get something in the mail for one of the people running for alderman, and her name is Angel Stand, and it has her list of things that she's going for, and pictures of her standing next to Jimmy Carter and his wife. Can't remember her name. At a church.
Rosalind.
So here's what she wants. Lots of stuff. Yeah, she wants to build smart roads. Roads that can collect solar energy and heat themselves to melt the ice on them. And I'm like, look at that going, okay, that's slightly crazy. Something maybe I could get behind. Let's see what else is on here. And like, remove lead and fluoride from the water. I'm like, okay, no, she's crazy. Any politician who wants to remove the fluoride from my drinking water is just plain nuts and will be instantly ignored.
Oh, okay. Because removing the lead would not be a bad thing, right?
We don't really have lead in our water. It's not. We don't have a lead problem in Springfield.
We don't have an issue with lead leaching out of the pipes.
Okay.
We do have a problem with an aging infrastructure. Don't get me wrong.
Yes,
but it's not that bad.
Yeah, we're not Detroit.
No,
we have our own lake
or Flint.
So just like with The Simpsons, there is a Lake Springfield, and that is the name of it.
And there is a power plant hooked up to it.
And there is a power plant because we own our own power plant. But we do not have a problem with lead. And adding fluoride to water is one of the most successful public health things that's ever been done. So, yeah, crazy person.
Okay. Fair enough. We are getting ready to go into an election cycle, and our mayor of 20 years has announced that he is not going to run for re-election.
Okay.
Okay, and it comes out in the article that he's not running for re-election because his wife was just diagnosed with cancer, and he decided that he needs to be home with his wife. And in no way, shape, or form am I belittling his wife's circumstance. I also know that his son is also famously ill with Lou Gehrig's disease. So he's got a lot going on the home front. I am not denying that at all.
Right. No. Family issues come up.
What I don't like is after 20 years, we are now facing infrastructure issues with our water and what have you. So it's almost like he's retiring just before he knows it's going to become a major problem. And he also accepted a job from a state job which will coincide with his retirement as mayor, for him to collect a $40,000 a year for life pension along with all the benefits, because it's based off of your last 3 years in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas his pension before he got this job would only have been like $6,000 a year. So I'm waiting patiently for somebody to pick up on this. I'm not putting it out there. Nobody from my town listens to PTR radio, so I don't have to worry about this being cited as a source, but somebody somewhere is going to figure this shit out. I can't be the only one because I am the least political person in our town.
But what if it did come out that you broke the news, Mike? If they say
good Lord,
first reported by Mike the Ape Man on PTR radio, this story broke April the 1st.
Well, in the same breath, I'm going to point out that he's a Republican mayor. We have a 100% Democratic council. So this is like...
So nothing gets done.
Nothing gets done. Well, no, the Democrats get everything done because even if the mayor vetoes it, then if it's majority vote, the council president can still sign.
Yeah.
So what the hell do we even have a mayor for? That's question number one. But
Well, here let's change a little bit.
Yeah, no political.
Well, here's something. Here's a political thing that we can all agree needs to be done, and I guarantee we can't believe it hasn't been done already. Kentucky legislature makes sex with animals illegal to combat the animal porn industry.
I have so many questions.
Like, why? Why is this a thing?
Why is it a question?
Yeah. Why does this have to come
What?
up for vote?
One, why does it have to be a law? Two, is there really is a
There really is
animal porn
industry. I'm not Googling if there is. I don't want to be put on a list.
Nor am I.
This is one where we're only going to look at Kentucky.com and look at the state-run news. We are not looking anywhere else for information on this.
I'd like to know why there's been several failed attempts before this one.
I can tell you this actually.
Okay, at least tell us.
Because it tells it in the story. It says this. They were worried. The residents were worried about the government being able to come on their land whenever they felt like it to inspect to see if these things were happening.
Okay, so it was okay.
Yeah,
It's kind of like how Florida passed a bill that bans offshore drilling, but included in the same bill was restrictions on vaping.
yeah.
So it's like I get it. So it was under an umbrella that
Well, they say this never got traction until this year. The Senate Majority Caucus chairwoman said, for some people, the resistance to it was private property rights. There was a fear that authorities could come into their property, inspect their animals, and possibly confiscate them. That was never true, but it was a concern. Now, we can relate to this by all of us know.
How? What?
No, not directly, but we all know the one guy that said the government can take my guns when it pries it from my cold dead hands. We all know that guy,
Okay.
right? These people are the
used to be would have been in the fourth quadrant down there.
yeah, used to be. So that's the same type of people. I'm not saying exactly the same. I'm not saying that there's a Venn diagram and there's a huge overlap, but I'm sure there's some overlap there. I'm not going to say exactly who's in the overlap on the Venn diagram, but there's some, I'm sure. It's an inner join, I'm sure. Anyway, so my point is, these are the same separatists, which are the get off my property type people, that would be opposed to this because they can't see that Bessie, doesn't want them to be her friend for the evening. Yeah.
I have no idea where else we could take this story, Chris.
Well, okay, so wow, that's how you know Colin is really disturbed. He calls you by your real name.
Yeah, well,
I was like,
here's my biggest thing. Here's my biggest problem with this, and it has nothing to do with the animal aspect of it. It's
because you're okay with that side.
No, my point, and this is bringing us back to an overall problem in government, which I kind of alluded to, was how in the hell can you just lump all of this stuff together so basically voting on a bill becomes the least of all evils.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I'm not even clicking on that link because with my luck, then all of a sudden Facebook is going to start recommending shit to me in my feed based off of this article, and I don't want anything to do with it. But what I'm thinking here is this legislature may have been the first time that it was a standalone.
Oh, definitely
bill,
could have been.
Right? I could understand if it was lumped in with other things that would make people think, hey, you could come in and seize my animals just because he's got a prolapsed rectum. And that's suspicion. Forget the fact that Dr. Paul was just out here and said, oh, no, we just put the band on and the tissue will die off. The blood will stop and it'll be fine in 2-3 days.
Why is it?
Penicillin.
How is Dr. Shathid in Kentucky? I'm trying to figure this out. Okay.
You know Dr. Paul.
No.
The Incredible Dr. Paul, he's got a show on Nat Geo.
No, I'm sorry. I don't. It's not in my lineup. It's not,
He's related to Dr. Shathade, Mr. Shathade.
Okay. I'll tell you what, it's been irritating me recently. The wife got into watching Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh, God.
I can't. She doesn't get the subtle hint. When I'm like, oh, I forgot to take my medication. Oh, I forgot. I need to go to the bathroom. Oh, we got shaved right now. Keep walking out of the bedroom, because I don't want to see this guy's back sliced open and then an it crawl out of it.
So like Shaggy's doing the movie review early.
Kim started. She got sucked into that. The same way we used to. We'd be sitting there, and if there was nothing on TV, we'd get sucked into My 600-Pound Life.
Yeah.
Or Hoarders. Yeah, there's always one of those shows you get sucked into. She got sucked into Pimple Popper. I think this was on a Friday night because I was going to hockey, and I came home, and it was still on the TV when I came home. 6 hours later, she's asleep, and Dr. Pimple Popper. And I got that one friend that always shared the videos on Facebook, and then when I found out it was a TV show, I was like, "Fuck, this is the end of the world."
Yeah.
But there's more, because there's another show that's similar to that, but the guy specifically deals with ingrown toenails.
No.
Yes.
No. We need to outlaw shows like that. Outlaw shows like that. All right. Colin's looking at collapsed bridges.
Sorry, this is a professional thing.
Okay. Now,
it's on A&E, and it's called The Toe Bro.
No. That sounds like a bad porno, like a foot fetish porno.
I am not even kidding this. It's actually a docuseries, but a foot specialist who treats a range of shocking foot problems for patients who come from far and wide.
No thanks.
Not.
All right. Mike, you brought this up. This was one of the first links you posted when we were getting stuff ready for the show. Looks like we may have to put up with a remake of Cannonball Run. Now, it's going to be horrendous, I think.
It absolutely will be. If it's even possible.
It's already been remade so many times. I don't know. I don't know if this is one that I can really get behind being mad about, because it's already been remade so many times.
Well, what do you mean it's been remade?
Well, there's...
What other ones have there been?
The Bubblegum Run, Speed Zone.
The Bubblegum Rally was out before Cannonball Run, I believe.
Right, to say, this particular thing...
This genre
has been done many, many times. It's just... I can kind of see it. My biggest problem with it is that this is a known... You cannot do this in 2019. A race across the entire country like one of these, where you don't actually tell... Where it isn't actually... It's a known thing.
Somehow the word doesn't get out. Yeah.
Well, it isn't just that the word can't get out. It's that the amount of vehicles on the roads means that there's too much traffic for it to work.
Oh, I don't know.
I think Colin is questioning the feasibility of the actual plot in this day and age.
I don't know. I bet you could. I bet you could find ways around the congested areas.
It's just the combination of the congested areas and social media. I don't know.
I mean, I think
this is how they're going to do it. Aliens. Going to be in space.
Now, if they wanted to say that they're going to do it in a different country, like, Cannonball
Russia.
Run.
Cannonball Run, Australia. It takes 6 hours.
They did that. It's called Mad Max. No. Yeah. Cannonball Run, Russia.
Cannonball Run, Siberia.
Chernobyl to Moscow.
Yeah. Or just Europe in general. Start France or Spain.
Or it's going to wind up in some
Portugal.
Fictional country.
Start in Portugal and in
Well, let's see here.
China, I guess. I don't know.
Paris to China is 7,800 kilometers, which is 4,800 miles. I know what was the original? Where was the original? It was where to where? It was to Los Angeles.
No, San Fran to Connecticut, and then they race back in the morning, or vice versa.
So the U.S. is between 2,600 and 3,200 miles, depending on the route.
Okay, so that was almost 3,000 miles, Connecticut to San Francisco. Okay, darn near 3,000. So yeah, you could definitely do it in Europe if you wanted to, because you got the distance. Okay.
Yeah, Portugal to Moscow.
Boy, but you get pulled over for speeding there, and they're just going to chop your hands
That's
off.
part of the thrill.
Oh. Cannonball Run, Middle East.
Death Race 2000, man. No, my problem here is you're never going to get, you are never going to get this kind of ensemble cast in this day and age.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you can't afford them. You can't afford that
Exactly.
many good comedic actors together. All right.
Exactly. I mean,
you can
look,
afford it if they are the ones producing it, and it's like the Ocean's 11 film. They're just having fun.
Okay, so let's
and
see.
if
Go ahead, Mike.
and if everyone gets a back end deal,
Yeah.
All right, so
okay. But
Jack Black would be in it.
Yes.
I think he would go for it.
Yep.
Chris Rock, probably.
Yep.
All right.
I look at your list there. Mike Myers would probably be in costume and be the guy running the entire race.
Will Ferrell would definitely go for it.
and John C. Riley, they would
Riley
be
would
in
be
a car
for it.
together. Of course, they would be in it as Ricky Bobby and
Yeah. Seth Rogen would.
other guy.
Seth Rogen
Come
would
on.
do it for sure.
With James Franco, they would be the Stoners.
You could get Ricky Gervais to do it, I'm sure.
But would we want to?
I don't know. Okay, here's the toss up. Do you want Owen Wilson in it? You could afford him. There's no question about that. But do you want him?
Only if it's a duo with his brother.
Luke?
Yeah, if you had Luke and Owen.
Luke and Owen, and put him in the general
Well, I was
league.
going to say, or do you go Owen with Ben Stiller and see? This is where I'm thinking if
You take
This
all the
is the only
classic
way I think it would
duos
work.
through films.
yeah, if you have these comedic actors playing
Parts.
characters that they played before, like you got Derek Zoolander and Hansel from Zoolander. Okay, so you got them in a car.
Jay and Silent Bob in a something or other.
Well, here's the good news. You could still get Jackie Chan.
But who would you pair him with?
I don't know. Kevin Hart? That would be a good straight man from to play off of.
Well,
Maybe you could pair him with the Indian guy from Kung Fu Yoga.
Maybe.
oh, what's that other guy? The guy that was in Rush Hour. What's he been doing?
Oh, Chris Tucker?
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris Tucker.
Nothing.
Okay, that's true. Supposedly they're making Rush Hour 4.
You could afford him. I want Paul Rudd in this. We might not be able to afford him, but I want him in it. I don't care how.
Him and Stifler
Yes.
in the monster truck
Yeah.
energy drink thing from what was Big Brothers? What was that? The one?
Yeah, I want them as like redneck brothers. You know, Simon Pegg would be a good, other cross the pond grab.
Okay, who are going to be the token comedic chicks?
Oh, that's
And I don't mean that in a bad way. If you've never seen Cannonball Run, you're not going to understand where I'm coming from. But there was always a car in Cannonball Run with two females who played off their sexuality.
I would.
Oh, okay. So that would not be Tina Fey and.
I think Tina Fey could do it.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be doing that.
Kristen Wiig.
It would have to be Leslie Jones, and then who would be paired with her?
Leslie
Jones.
No.
Yes.
No.
So, kind of writing.
Oh, yeah,
I
we are
love
kind
that
of making
profile
it-
pic.
That's a good point. We are making it more of a Mad World remake, which is a better idea, really.
No, I think you can.
Maybe we could have the two chicks from Two Broke Girls.
What about Amy Schumer? No. Let's see here. Yep. No, I think the two girls from Two Broke Girls would be good, and they'd be cheap. We could keep them cheap
because they have no talent.
Well, no, I mean they got a TV show.
It was a terrible TV show.
Well, okay, Two Broke Girls is off the air. The blonde chick is now on The Neighborhood, which somehow is still on the air. I don't know what happened to Max with the boobs, but
definitely not her.
Not Catherine Ryan.
No, actually, Catherine Ryan would be a good pick.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is a bit old to play the role, I think.
So you know, Mike, the one next to Catherine Ryan on his list was
Michelle
Wolf. Yeah. No,
not Kristen Schell.
But what are you looking up? What list are you looking up?
Female comedians.
Google and it's not an actual list. It's just a list.
Yeah, it's just a list of female comedians.
Okay, I see who what you.
I was just looking up female comedians.
Okay, so what was this?
I didn't Google female comedians with huge cans.
Eliza Schlesinger. He looks like she could. Somehow Melissa McCarthy would work her way into this, and I'm not exactly for or against it.
Well, wait, what if we get Rachel from Friends? She still looks good.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're kind of casting this too old.
Chelsea Peretti and Leslie Jones. Yeah, that's true. You know what? You're absolutely right. We probably need to think like. Even if they don't, well, the females didn't have to be comedic.
No.
Right?
For what Shaggy was talking about to start with, So
I think we need Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
And maybe we could convince Taylor Swift just to give us some star cred here. Or Ariana Grande.
Oh, why don't we just get Katy Perry? She's moving into movies now. She could expand.
Might be a 2-for-1. We get her with Orlando Bloom. Orlando Jones. Wow, but we do need Orlando Jones in this.
Yes, we do.
Orlando Bloom.
Like I said,
get him. What?
I think you're going too old.
No, because you got to be able to attract the people who originally loved Cannonball Run. You can't have this full of millennials.
We also need to think about this. Who is actually going to make this movie? Because if it's Disney, or Fox, or Fisney, or Docs, or whatever the hell they're calling themselves now, Mardizox.
We need Legend Productions.
Okay, the problem here is if they make it, you're going to have a bunch of Disney characters, which is why I said Orlando Bloom, because they would let Johnny Depp reprise his role as Captain Jack Sparrow for this.
No, I think we need, isn't it Legends Production Company? Isn't that who we've been watching a ton of films from?
Asylum.
No, we are not letting Asylum ruin this.
Why not? They might let us be in the movie.
No, I do think maybe we need some famous YouTubers in there just to make sure that we get this. We could have
puked up guy. Yeah, King Joffrey Joffre or whatever the hell his name is. He's going to be in it.
Apparently, this is Warner Brothers, so this will be one of the few movies not made by Disney Fox.
Okay. Well, they made the original one, so no wonder because they own the rights to it already.
No.
Didn't Warner Brothers?
The original one was co-production between 20th Century Fox and some Hong Kong company.
Oh, okay. Well,
I am not feeling good about the supposed director of the remake.
Oh, they've been through several, so I wouldn't worry about it too much.
It's currently set up to be Doug Liman. Movies he's directed are Getting In, Swingers, Go. Oh, he did do The Bourne Identity. That was good.
Betty White.
We're talking about going younger, and Kenna is saying we got to have Betty White. Betty White can be the one running this whole thing.
She's a financier.
That was the joke that I was thinking when I was saying we're going too old. I said, "Well, just might as well put Betty White in."
No.
No, we're going to put Betty White and we'll put Klinger back in it. Which, by the way, is anybody still watching the Cool Kids?
Yes.
No, I need to catch up on that.
Ah,
How is it? Is it better?
I liked it before. I still like it.
Okay.
I'm still watching it, and I'm still watching Magnum P.I.
There have been some episodes. This last week's episode, I don't know how current, up to date you are with it.
I think
this
I'm up
last
to date.
week's episode I thought was kind of meh.
Yeah, that was the one where she was upping her game.
No,
Okay,
that was
then-
last week's.
Okay, I might be one behind then. Oh no, wait, hold on. It was the van one, right?
Yes,
This was the concert. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't their best.
with the ex-wife.
Yeah, not their best, but I did enjoy seeing Stifler's mom again.
Well, that's true. That's the thing that I'm really starting to like about this is all of the guest stars that they're getting.
Yeah, they're great.
So that part is
Yeah, because
that part's really kicking it up a notch.
yeah, because it's this great opportunity to bring in the older Hollywood actors that you haven't seen in a long time and have them just come on and do a one-off. You know, I really like that.
I can tell you that the Cool Kids is likely renewed.
Well, I should darn well hope so.
So,
And of course, somebody at work hates Magnum PI. He thinks that it's just MacGyver and just explosions nonstop. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, maybe it's a little bit more action packed than the original Magnum PI was, but it's not unfun. I mean, it's a good story most weeks. And the Orville, oh my God, the Orville is just great. If they don't renew that for 100 more seasons, I'm going to quit watching TV. Sign them right now.
I'm starting to like the Orville again. I went through my rebellious phase when Jessica Zor joined the cast. Quite like her.
Yeah.
Still don't quite like her, but I'm getting used to her.
Yeah.
But so are you caught up?
I'm caught up. Colin,
I watched last week's episode.
Okay,
as you
so
requested.
I truly, this was the first episode in a long time that I enjoyed start to finish, just because of how they looped in so many cultural references, and it made a whole lot of sense, like the cigarettes.
Yeah.
All right. Spoiler alert: if you haven't watched the last episode of the Orville, they found a time capsule from was it 2000s?
Yeah.
Or 19 late
13,
90s,
2012. Something
okay.
Like that.
They had a cell phone in there, with all the messages, a pack of cigarettes. Which, okay, who the hell puts a pack of cigarettes in a time capsule?
It was.
But think about it.
It was from 2015, according to them.
Okay, so seeing how society dealt with this stuff, I thought was amazing, and the way they handled it. I love the way the Mocklins addicted to nicotine.
Yeah.
I love the way they handled that.
Yeah.
I thought, what's his damn name? Gordon.
Yeah.
Creating the simulation from the phone, and it actually turned into like a butterfly effect kind of subplot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought this was one of the better done episodes, and like I had told you guys, it kind of stood. This was an episode that stands on by itself.
And I love the things like, you know, in there the whole thing with the phone was, if you thought about it, her reason for putting the phone into the time capsule was it would give people a picture of who she was. And if you really think about it, if somebody has your phone, all right, that you've used for several years, and it's got text message history, email history, etc. on it, they have a really good picture of who you are. I mean, they really do have insight into you, reading conversations, seeing interactions, all that kind of stuff. But some of the funny stuff that they did with it was, here it says, she's clearly asking her friend where to find the nearest service for her device. But instead of writing, wireless telecommunications facility. She just wrote WTF.
Yeah. Well, and that was the cameo I was referring to when I told you guys you got to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Ken brings up a good point. Okay, so I liken this episode, I think, to there was an episode of Friends, the one with all the clothes. The only reason I know this one is because I have watched a scene from this, and I have the Funko inspired by this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only Friends episode that was entirely shot in Monica's apartment. You do not see anywhere but Monica's apartment. Why did they do this? Because they ran out of budget.
Yeah.
And had to limit the costume changes and the shooting schedule. So they did that. But the episode worked. It's kind of like Walking Dead, how they would have a bunch of zombies and then they wouldn't have zombies. They'd have a bunch and they wouldn't have. They spaced it out.
Yeah.
Side note, Walking Dead sucks right now. Piss on them. I hope the damn fad with zombies just ends. And what else did she say here? Yes, Scott Grimes should sing more.
Yeah.
Or he should play hockey in an episode.
Which, by the way, I learned that he is actually either married to or engaged to the actress who plays Kelly.
No, don't do this to me.
Sorry if I burst your bubble, but I was told that. I did not.
By the way, just to fill that this is called a bottle episode, is when they do something where they just use their existing standing sets.
Yeah. So it was, but it was a great episode. So yeah, it was really, really good, but, and it was one that just kind of stands on its own. I think I just broke Mike's brain.
How?
Is it true?
They got engaged January. No.
Well, don't worry. He's been married twice, so I'm sure it won't last.
Oh, how? Wait a minute. I got it. There's pictures of these two together. No. No. They don't even. No. No. Somebody please bring up something about AOC again, just to get my brain back in the right spot. Jesus.
I love that I knew something he didn't know.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's so great.
Yes. Moving on to something, anything. We need subscribers.
Yes.
Let's do the PewDiePie method.
Oh my God.
Oh,
so
actually, I think it is a good philosophy in life to say, what would PewDiePie do? And then do the exact opposite.
Well, you can't argue with results.
It's not him. It's his fan.
I understand.
Right?
No, there's plenty of bad fans.
So he's got fans that have unleashed their own form of ransomware.
Well, they did. It's a cryptoware, which encrypted everything with a 2048-bit cipher, and they were not going to release the decryption key until PewDiePie hit 100 million subscribers. One of the ransomware strands also warned victims that if at any time the Indian Bollywood channel T-Series got more subscribers than PewDiePie, the decryption key would not be released. Its author eventually realized the world of trouble he'd get into if any of those victims filed complaints with authorities, and released the ransomware source on GitHub along with the command line based decryption tool. So, this is a case of a kid going, "Hey, I know what I'm going to do for my favorite YouTube guy. He'll love me for this. He'll make me his #1 fan." And then realized, oh, I could be in a lot of trouble. The fact is you could still be in a lot of trouble.
This is like serious scorched earth nuclear type options.
Yeah.
All right.
I love the excuse. I made this whilst learning Java. I hope I didn't cause too much of an issue for anyone. Here's the decryption tool. Yeah. Yeah, because that's what you do when you're learning a programming language. I know when I first learned, it wasn't Hello World. It was how to encrypt someone's entire hard drive. That is the first program that they teach you when you're learning any language.
Yeah. Also, if you're just learning Java, writing viruses is probably not a good idea.
No.
Because it's going to be it's more likely that you're not going to be able to bring someone's hard drive back. Because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. It was just bad. Both ransomware strains show the level of idiocy the competition for YouTube's top spot has reached. While T-Series fans have remained mostly quiet most of the time, a portion of PewDiePie's fans appear to have lost their minds and engaged in media stunts bordering on criminal behavior.
Bordering?
Now, yeah, I know. They deface sites, taken over printers, and hijacked thousands of Chromecasts and smart TVs to spew out messages of support, and the now classical subscribe to PewDiePie. And they're not doing this because he asked them to.
No.
He's no more so than we ask people to subscribe to all of our media channels. And I'm sure that he is telling them, hey, listen, this is this is not good. Don't do this. This isn't the way that I want to grow my channel.
God damn it.
That's right. Michael cut you.
The digital knife. I will slice your internet. Some idiot out there. We're going to get an email. Some idiot out there is going to say, oh, I can't get online because I didn't subscribe.
Which it would be great if we could get some more followers on Twitter, because we're at 93, and boy, wouldn't 100 be a nice round number. But still, we're not going to encrypt anyone's hard drive to get that way, because that's just not the way that we roll. That's not how we want to make our mark on the digital world.
Yeah, we'll just suggest that there's better YouTube videos out there that you should subscribe to instead. I don't know. I've never been a watch somebody else play a video game type of person, and so it's not my style of game. Not my style of video. It depends. If it's one of those videos like Little Gamer's Paradise, where they take the entire movie side of the game and stitch it together into a movie and don't talk over the thing, that's great. It means I don't have to pay for the game. I could just watch the movie and get the full storyline and be happy. But why would I want to watch somebody else talk incessantly while playing a game? Does not make any sense.
Well, I mean,
my nephews do it constantly.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely, and I mean, there have been arguments for it. Esports are a big thing. Evidently, there's collegiate esports groups forming. You can get a scholarship to college for esports now, which I guess might be a little bit better than what some colleges are doing. In a news story, more colleges are trying foregoing tuition for a percentage of future income, reports Slashdot. According to this, there are income share agreements that you can have with some universities where essentially you sign up and the university has now become your headhunter. So you go to school for free, but basically it's indentured servitude afterwards for a period of time where you will pay back your stuff. Yeah, there's definitely a fight going on.
I have thought about this, and it does make sense to me to an extent.
To
Not
some degree,
for everyone, because look, there's only so many jobs out there. That's part of the problem. Now, when I went to DeVry, back when it was still an institute, 20-something years ago, one of the first things they tell you is that when you go in and you register is that DeVry is a for-profit, or it was a for-profit institute. So they sold it as, because it's for profit, it doesn't do us any good if you don't find a job after graduation. That's why we work harder to place you.
Right.
What they didn't tell you is that if you get a degree in computer sciences, placing you in a job at Best Buy counts towards their statistic. And there was a big lawsuit about that. But this is kind of the same thing. Now, I could understand them offering this as an alternative to student loans as almost like a scholarship type opportunity.
And really, it's a better deal than student loans if you look at it. Because, I mean, student loans, while, they're handy, I think you're probably going to end up paying this off quicker, and at least you'll know, you'll know what it'll be. And so, and like you said, it'll work towards, it'll incentivize them to get you a job.
But a lot of this may also depend on the terms.
Yes, it does all come down to the details.
You can deduct this. You could deduct the interest you were paying on your student loans from your taxes. I don't know how much that would apply now, but
right.
Would you be able to? Would this be a pre-tax or an after-tax deduction from your earnings? Is it something you have to? Could you write off part of it? I mean, the devil's in the details here, but.
Yeah, and nowhere in this article do they tell you what their percentage take is, but they're talking about essentially what the average student debt is, and it's grown to over $30,000, whereas your median wage after graduation is somewhere in the range of $45,000. So. Depending upon how it is, But yeah, we actually just talked.
Here's the other thing, though. This may not actually be. There may not actually be a cap on this.
Yeah, it says with ISAs there is no principal or interest, thus they are much better suited for low-income students as their financial obligations never exceed their ability to pay.
Yeah, from a legal standpoint, what's going to come down to is. What is the school's ability to revoke your degree?
Well, I don't know that they would have a leg to stand on, per se.
Because they are allowed to revoke your degree for, they find out that you plagiarized, or there's different things that, But if it's like 5 years later,
your Aunt Becky bribed somebody to get you in.
Yes,
but it's like if it's 5 years later and you declare bankruptcy. The point of bankruptcy is that indentured servitude is illegal. And bankruptcy is the mechanism that breaks that off and says, okay, I can't pay. And I'm legally declaring this, and the court is reviewing it, and everything's gone.
Now, what they say here is a common feature of all these ISA programs is that they require payment only when a graduate meets a certain income threshold. Okay? All impose time limits and caps on the total amount that needs to be repaid, though they differ widely in where they set those caps and limits. A few, such as Purdue, vary terms according to major, providing somewhat more favorable terms to higher-earning majors to mitigate adverse selection or the risk that only low earners will participate in ISAs. Adverse selection is a concern commonly raised about the ISAs, though notably most colleges offering them have decided not to differentiate among majors. The insurance features of ISAs providing downside protection if the high earner suffers a setback through, for instance, illness or economic conditions, as well as a cap that place an upper bound on the high earner's total obligation, help address adverse selection. But the differing terms of these early programs will help test the hypothesis. So it's, they're talking about. There's a gap in the education funding right now. Mm-hmm. Do we all agree that the cost of an education is outrageous? Yes. And that it just keeps going up and up and up? Yes.
Yes.
All right. Is this a way to be able to afford it? Maybe.
There's been many science fiction short stories and novels off of this basic concept taken further. where basically everybody is a stock,
Right.
and people can buy percentages of you as a stock.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's come up with a storyline that makes it sound like a good idea.
Well, true. But I mean, we'll see. They're trying it. We'll see what happens. I will tell you this: that there are certain majors where without a degree you can't get the interview. Without the interview, you can't get the job for sure.
Well, I was going to say, some companies actually do something similar to this. That if you get they will pay for you to go back to school and get your degree, but you have to agree to work there for
X number of years.
X term afterwards. Now, in some cases, now in corporate America, I think this is becoming less and less because let's say I do get that degree, and that means I have to work for you for another 5 years, but, does that mean you can't lay me off for 5 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if that's the case, I might just go back to school and get my degree right now. Because then by the time that term is up, I will be eligible for retirement with employee benefits under the rule of 75.
Yeah. And
so do I play the system that way?
Or do they say, you know what, we can fire you, we'll just take the loss for the education?
That's probably accurate.
Yeah. No, I mean, we were talking to our oldest grandson, who's now 19, and he just bought his first car because he was taking the year after high school off to be able to, save up money to be able to afford the car, to be able to afford the first year of college. All right, solid plan. We said, okay, fine, you can take 1 year off to gather money because it's expensive even to go to a community college.
Mm-hmm.
We said, but you've got to get into college that second year because you're not going to just not go because he's wanting to go into computers. And I'm like, listen, you need to get the degree because the degree will get you the interview. If nothing else, colleges are great for putting you into internships. All right.
This is the same person who had all this stuff that didn't work together in the same computer on their Amazon wish list, is it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it is.
Okay, so he does need schooling in computers, but
yeah, he definitely needs.
Might as well go to college for Sanskrit at this point. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, this is not 1996.
He is slowly learning some of that stuff. But you got everybody starts not knowing anything. Remember, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
And then you slowly learn.
This is true. True.
I told him, I'm like, listen, school will get you the interview or the internship, and then experience gets you the job. In our profession,
yes, in
group our confession, IT. All right. Unfortunately, you can't just get the job on experience. They want that silly degree to be able to get to even interview you. It didn't used to be the case.
Unless you have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
That's what I've said to Kim. I've said to Kim, I said, if I were to leave AT&T, the likelihood of me getting another job in telecom is slim to none because I don't have the advanced degree that most people have. And my experience is, 20 years experience, kind of in that donut, that hole of the donut where it's like, okay, he's got a lot of experience, so why was he let go?
Yeah.
And versus he's got so much experience, he would be an incredible asset. That's maybe it's just me, but
yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. So
because the big problem now is there are way too many people with master's degrees and no experience.
Yeah,
coming in from India and flooding the market. That's what you are competing with.
Yeah.
So you have to have at least that degree as well, and the ability to not get paid that much to get started in this industry.
Unfortunately, there is no grading for ingenuity and problem solving. Because if there is, trust me, we could be ahead of a lot of people.
Yep.
So, all right, moving on. So let's talk about brackets. We are in the time of brackets right now. As Colin and I learned, brackets are big. There's a sports thing going on right now. I don't know what it is. It could be Pinochle for all I know. But there's a thing going on, and Deadspin didn't want to be left out, so they've been doing this for the last few years. They came up with a bracket through all their stories and listener contributions that can be verified. They are doing the Name of the Year bracket from 2018. So they broke these into regions and seeded them. So we'll start off, Mike, with the Voltron regional division. So we have a number 1 seed, Salami Blessing, versus Bernard Bumpus.
So wait a second. Are we actually we're gonna?
Well, I just want to go. Picks? I just want to kind of go through the names because I think some of these names are hilarious. And if you see one that's somewhere, just then in the second one it's Duckins Nazon versus Zeus de la Paz, and next one is 5 seed versus 12. It's Habakkuk Blondo versus Armageddon Drawn. Then early
Habakkuk Baldonado.
Okay. Early Charlemagne versus Miracle Crimes. Go ahead.
Tuna Altoona versus Philandrous Fleming. Most Thigh Thank God versus Fabulous Flournoy. Dr. Dimple Royalty versus James with a Z, Brickhouse. Jim Bob Ghostkeeper. Travis Couture Love Lady.
And then
out of all of these,
yes,
I have to pick Most Thigh Thank God, because if that's not a stripper name, I don't know what is.
I kind of like Miracle Crimes myself. All right, then on the other side, the Dragon Wagon Regional, we have Leroy's Lobster Gaines versus Christine Plentyhoops, Darth Vader Williamson versus Delicious Peters, Lola Honeybone versus Chosen Roach.
Barrett, that's my pick right there. Chosen Roach. Dude's got dreadlocks, smells like patchouli, and was wearing Birkenstocks. That's my pick. Go ahead.
Chardonnay Beaver versus
pick
versus Maverick Buffo. Crystal how the heck do you say that last name? Patriarch. Okay.
It's a funky spelling of patriarch, I believe.
Okay. Versus Forbes Thor Keto.
Dude.
Quandarius Gooch.
Quindarius Gooch versus Mike Diaper. Candida Seasock versus Adele Gorilla with an extra R. Siege Hay French Love. CEEJHAY. CJ French Love versus Johannes Tyler. Johannes Tyler. Steven Tyler's long-lost ketchup-related cousin.
I am going with Quindarius Gooch.
I got to go with Chardonnay Beaver. Why? Because that's another stripper name.
All right, Fruit Handler Memorial Regional. Making Love Petit Fard versus Dr. Pitt Dairyberry. Baba Bukar Fatty versus Sparkle Hater.
Hater, Hayter.
Shamoil Ship Chandler versus Dr. Mega Panda. MEGHA. Corky Boozy. Booze, sorry, he's French, versus Darwin Tobacco. Dr. Go ahead.
Pierre Chan Paffenbarger versus Covadongo del Busto Naval. Blossom Albuquerque versus Obra Canoodle the Fourth. The Fourth!
There were 3 before.
Sir Zion Dance or Surgeon dance. I don't know how to, whatever. There's an apostrophe in the middle, so that's a nope. Versus Devoid Couch. Reverend Dongo Pewee.
He's Pewee.
versus-
Pewee.
No, it ain't no, it's Pewee. P-E-W. Pewee.
Because Pee Wee Herman would
Versus-
Pee Wee Herman with two E's. P-E-E-W-E.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Versus Jimpy Drucker.
Okay, and on the other one, which is the
I don't know who to pick on this one. I got to go with, I'm kind of leaning towards Dr. Mega Panda.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Just because.
I'm going with Making Love Petit Fard. Just cause. All right, and finally on the Croach Tangle Regional, it would be
crotch tangle.
but there's no H in the beginning of that word. Crotch is CROTCH.
Depends on the character.
Okay, we're going to get. All right, go ahead.
All right, Dr. Narwhal's mating.
That's
that's the
why
best
I'm
name of
thinking
them
that this is definitely Crotch Tangle.
Okay. Clinton Bacon. Bramble Clipple versus Mahogany Loggins,
Kenny Loggins, a legitimate child.
who enjoys woodworking. Then Reverend Hobbit Forrest versus Genuine Potts. And then Bo Titsworth versus Palestine Ace. Mike, you want to finish it
Okay,
out?
there's 6 to cancel versus Hallelujah Luli. Dr. Taekwondo Bird versus Bucky Warboys. Lucas Chalupa. Gandalf Hernandez. Shaka Licorice versus Tuesday Demogosian.
Sorry, I'm doing Gandalf Hernandez. Because you shall not pass this wall.
I do kind of like 6 to cancel.
6 to cancel.
I like Genuine Potts because it actually sounds like a character who would have shown up on Dukes of Hazzard.
Is that Pepper's brother? Or a cousin, maybe?
Pardon me too. Like Lucas Chalupa. Well, okay, you conceived in the parking lot of Taco Bell.
That's right.
Bo
yeah.
Titsworth.
But I am going to guess it's actually going to end up being Reverend Hobbit Forrest versus Gandalf Hernandez.
So here's my question:
Yes.
are these actual people?
Yes,
Like-
they are.
So these are legit names.
Yes, legit names. There's no Lamangelo, Orangelo, or Excite anywhere.
No Malinkis?
Nope. Nope. No Nosmo Kings. None of that.
Can't know Abacadisi.
Nope. Now, Colin, you found another bracket that was going on today.
Oh, yeah, that's going on today. It's XKCD. Go ahead and bring it up.
Okay. So this is xkdc.com, right?
Yep.
Why is it not coming up? XKCD.
Yes.
Okay, so this is
The Emoji Dome.
2 emoji enter, 1 emoji leave. Time's up. So is
There's the
there-
next one.
Oh, okay.
So it's currently
Sunglasses happy versus surprised. I'm going with sunglasses happy. Can I vote as many times as I want?
if you vote too many times, then it'll start ignoring you. But you can keep voting for a while. But if you click on the full bracket for today's comic round 3 at the bottom,
Holy crap.
Holy Christ!
so that's the current bracket.
And we're only a quarter of the way. Oh, no. Because, that's maybe only a quarter of the way through because I see the one we just voted on there.
Okay, so we're into the second challenge.
Second
then.
round.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if you go up to the top and you make it emojidome_bracket.png,
Will it have the ratings?
no, they'll have the entire bracket.
Oh, Jesus.
Holy crap! We're only in the second round.
Yeah.
Third. It says third round.
Whoa, that's a lot of emojis.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I can tell you right now, depending on the crowd that gets a wind of this, saw a damn eggplant down there at the bottom, that shit gonna win.
Eggplant versus raindrops is going to be the final one.
Although I read that the eggplant is actually not in the bracket.
Really? I thought I saw eggplant in here.
I didn't look.
Okay, there's raindrops. Is eggplant on?
Keep going. It would be. Thought I saw fruits down on the left.
Oh, if it's on the left, then it's got to battle it out. There's fruits. No, there's no eggplant.
Wow, there's no eggplant. Oh, see, they knew.
Yeah, well, he knew.
So yeah.
If you've never been here at XKCD, it's a comic updates every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you're ever anywhere on the internet and someone has some comic up on their page with stick figures, it's most likely from XKCD.
So yep.
Who won?
We'll find out in 1 second.
If you refresh, the remaining time will update.
Okay. Just says time's up.
Who won?
But it hasn't told me who won yet.
Who won?
Because on my
I
browser,
think Sunglasses Guy is going to make it.
because in my browser it says there's 2 minutes left. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What browser are you in?
This is Firefox, sir. The superior browser. That's the only browser that I use is Firefox. Unless I'm double checking, compatibility. Then I boot up. Which, by the way, have you heard that Edge is going to get replaced with a Chromium powered Edge?
Edge is becoming Chromium. Yes.
Yes.
Which to me is like, oh, you mean I could use Chrome and not report every possible thing to Google? Okay. That's a good thing.
So
it might be nice to be able to search for stuff inside the browser and not have every single website give me ads on that thing.
I was going through the other day because we had a customer who was complaining that he couldn't use our video solution because he was still running Internet Explorer 10.
Oh, Lord.
And I said, we barely recommend Internet Explorer 11.
Yes.
And we only recommend it because we don't have time to update all of our applications. In fact, if you read this article, and I sent him a link, Microsoft doesn't even consider Internet Explorer 11 a browser.
Yeah, it should not be called a web browser anymore.
Their security chief came out and said IE11 is not a browser. It is a compatibility platform. They said it is only to be used for compatibility reasons.
3,
E?
2, 1.
No, the E, that's the button for the internet. The button for the internet. Jesus Christ, Jen.
Oh, yep.
Sunglasses won.
Sunglasses won. So Purple Devil versus Oh My God Face. Well, that's going to be an easy one.
So yeah, apparently this has been going on all day.
Yep. So, and it'll go on all night.
If you scroll at that past bouts there at the bottom there, it'll show you all the past bouts.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody wants to look through and find out if they're what the current status is of their favorite emoticon, you can do that.
All right, I'm recommending that we start our reviews now because since we do have a guest reviewer for one of these.
Okay.
But I think we should start with the amazing
I didn't have time to write my review, so I think you're going to get off. Whoa! The hell was that? And why did I get stuck all of a sudden?
You're frozen. Did you
I
push
know.
the button?
No.
Push the button. No? Oh. Wow. Shaggy is stuck. Just lean over. Lean over in the Collins frame. You'll be fine.
Hold on.
I could spin my mic, but then you'd be able to see everything over there.
Yeah, all the junk.
Including the broadcast delay box that we have not used in years.
So let's excuse me, while Shaggy is pulling that up, we're gonna talk about Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. We're also going to review the Umbrella Academy, but I think we should get Electro Woman and Dyna Girl out of the way first. I don't think it will take long because there was some messages going back and forth that this disappeared from Prime in the midst of our review.
Yes.
And there was some suggestions to try and replace it. I said, I will kill you in your sleep. I sat through this. You're going to sit through this. This is not up for debate. So the question is, did you guys sit through it?
Yes.
Good. I know Shaggy said he didn't get a chance to write his review, but that's okay. I don't know. Shaggy, are you gonna be able to come back or?
Yeah, I
Okay.
should be able to. Give me a second. I really screwed up. My chair got caught on the USB cord. And then bad things happened.
I don't want to watch the original. That'll ruin the mystique of the remake that we watched. All right, so in a change of pace, how about I start?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So this was a remake of was it 70s TV show?
It was like it wasn't even a full TV show. It was a bit inside another TV show.
Okay, so we start with two quote-unquote superheroes sitting in their apartment, in their costumes, their homemade costumes. Interesting. The only way that I got through this was to keep reminding myself that this is based on a show or a bit that came from the minds that brought us HR Puffin stuff. Grown women sleeping in bunk beds. What is this? What is this? Step Brothers all over again? I'm not sure how to interpret it. The internet is both terrible and wonderful. That was a quote said during this movie, and it may just be the saving grace of this entire film. Maybe the line will not save the movie. This saves the movie. They go to a convention, and there's a bunch of superheroes. We meet Perennial Man. Perennial Man, whose superpower is that he can talk to plants. He is talking to plants at the convention. He's having a full-on argument with the plants. This would mean that plants have voices, therefore plants can reason, therefore plants have souls. So tell me something, you damn vegans. Now what you gonna eat if the plants have souls and voices? How about that, huh? Maybe you can eat all the cows that are contributing to global warming. Colin missed that whole debate. But anyway, these girls could take lessons in signing autographs from NASCAR drivers. NASCAR drivers know how to sign autographs quickly for large numbers of people. They bang that shit out real quick. They defeat the supervillain with a peanut, which is a sad commentary on our times. I gave this a scowl, which is a tick below meh. Is the reason why? One, I did keep reminding myself that this was from the guy that brought us HR Puffin stuff. HR Puffin stuff, which was one of the best things to watch drunk ever. But this was originally a web series that they turned into a movie. So if you watch it in pieces, like it was a web series, small doses, 8 to 10 minutes a day, then you may rate this higher. You may think that this is entertaining. Putting it together and mashing it together as a movie is not a good idea. In fact, I think we have disqualified movies, or we've replaced movies that have followed this format, that they took webisodes and put them together. I do recall that we either I tapped out or we replaced it. So I give this a scowl. Because if not, the production value was there. I'll give it that too.
All right. Hi. I'm back. Let's see here. Electra Woman and Dinah Girl. I didn't know anyone in this movie at all. I will admit it took me 2 sessions to finish watching this movie. I watched 25 minutes of it, broke for a couple days, and then I finished watching it yesterday. I think that's the way that it can be best viewed, really, is in short bits and pieces. Because while this movie doesn't suck, he's not good. All right? Plot, rice paper thin would be the best way to describe it. All right? Basically, what they did was they took a look at, gosh, what the hell was the name of it?
Charlie Chan and the Chan Clan.
No, Jay and Silent Bob. Oh. And they said, yes, this would make a good show with chicks in it. And, wrong. Wrong. All right. I don't care how much pot you smoke. This isn't a funny movie. All right. Actresses probably should stay on YouTube. Not the best thing. So, this is not a great movie. It's not horrible. It's not good. All right. The best thing about this movie is the deadpan Q wannabe. All right. That is the best actor in the whole film, is the guy who has the soup. All right. And the funniest bit in the whole movie has to do with the project that isn't finished until it's done. All right. That's the only thing that's funny about the whole movie, is that you are waiting for something, and then it's there, and then it's not there anymore very quickly. So, but the movie, not good. And I thought it was going to be a good B movie from the beginning, because the beginning has a really good part. They're at a Quickie Mart getting Slurpees. They tear a guy's arm off. And you think, well, this is going to be good. This is going to be like, not super bad, but the other Badass. It's going to be like that. It's going to be kind of like a gross, gory, superhero movie where bad things are going to happen. No, it's not. So, Puke to Shnikes on this. I'm going to give it a meh. I can't give it any worse because, like I said, it's not horrible. It's just not good. It's middle of the road at best, just like the actresses in it. All right, Colin, it's up to you.
Okay, so in the years we were born, being 1976, 1978, there was a show called The Croft Super Show, an anthology of live-action fantasy adventure shows hosted by the musical group Captain Cool and the Kongs. One of the shows in that was Electra Woman and Dinah Girl, which starred Deirdre Hall and Judy Stranges. So, for those who don't know who Deirdre Hall was, she was one of the Days of Our Lives long-term actresses, and then she also was with Wilfred Brimley in Our House.
Diabetes.
And so that was it was serialized across a year of that show. And then in the 1980s, it was re-edited together into episodes. And apparently, at least a couple of people watched it and remembered it, and here in the more recent times decided to make a new version of it. I don't know why, but they did. The biggest problem with this thing is the wildly different levels of acting ability of the people in it. Meaning, Electra Woman could not act her way out of a wet paper bag. Dinah Girl at least could get her way out of a wet paper bag. There's actually some actors in this that you would recognize in other stuff. They actually are real actors. There's many others in this that, no, they're probably just friends. So this, just like the original one, was serialized as a web show. So that's kind of interesting that it's much like the original one. There's so many things in this show where it's just like, look at this. This is that thing that you remember from the first show. Like, here's the car. And you're looking at it going, I don't know what that is. Nobody knows what that is. Nobody cares. Maybe someone who has more experience than I do with Ubers would have found the Uber sequence more interesting. My experiences of Ubers, which were in Vegas, was that Uber was wonderful and worked great every single time. I don't know. I
took it more as a commentary that everybody in LA has a black Prius.
Yeah,
that too. But
not necessarily an Uber.
I have not been to LA recently. I have been to Seattle, and yes, every vehicle in Seattle, including the taxi cabs, seem to be Priuses. Yeah, there's not really much to say about this thing. I will say I do like this genre a lot, and if you find the genre of interacting with superheroes as actual people interesting, then watch The Tick. Tick's good. There was another one which was a UK sitcom, No Heroics. It was about a bar where superheroes go after they've done their heroics and drink together. And it only lasted one season, but it's a lot of fun. Watch either of those instead of this. Luckily, you can't.
What's your rating?
I already said the Scowl, same as you two.
Yeah, okay.
All right. That brings us up to the Umbrella. Oh, by the way, Marky Post played Electra Woman in one of the reboots of this, by the way.
There's been other reboots?
2001, they rebooted this, and Marky Post played Electra Woman. You know, Marky Post.
I'm just going to pretend that Marky Post only did Night Court.
Yep. All right.
Is Kenna calling in, or is somebody reading her?
She has given me the review. I have it on my phone as a text. I will read it. But let's do our own reviews first.
Okay. So, Umbrella Academy was up next, and since it's a series, our rule is you must watch 3 episodes. Okay? So, you can watch more if you want, but we will base our review off of the first 3 episodes. Okay?
Way, but I'm listening to your reviews.
All right. So, first 3 episodes of Umbrella Academy. So, let's start out with the beginning of the Umbrella Academy. The concept behind the Umbrella Academy is a group of women spontaneously become pregnant and give birth on a single day. All right? One day, wake up in the morning not pregnant. By the time the day's over, gone through, and boom, had a baby. That's it. All right. Very, supernaturally. All right. And those kids then are brought up by estranged billionaire, Sir Hargraves. Okay. Now, eccentric billionaire gets children who end up having special abilities. Does this sound familiar? I wonder. Sounds a lot like X-Men. Sounds a lot like Miss Peregrine's School for Peculiar Children. Sounds a lot like about 1 billion other movies. All right? But here's the thing. These are like the special ed class in Xavier's School for Excellent Children. All right? That's nothing against special ed kids. I'm just using it as a reference point, okay? So, you start off having 7 kids, all right? And right away, you're told one of them isn't special, okay? One's not special at all. There's nothing remarkable about her whatsoever. And so, there's something worrisome there, and I'm not going to get into any more about that, okay? Other than it's just transparent. So Hargraves, gets these children to grow, to practice their special abilities, and you find out they become crime fighters, and he's grooming them to save the world. Okay, they bust criminals in banks. They do all these other things, but then you start to see that they move away. All right, they leave. They're one because Dad's a jerk. All right. through little flashbacks and things, you see how much of a ass he really is. Okay? So, we only see each other at weddings and funerals is the first episode where you see all these kids as adults now come back together, including Space Boy, who has been living on the moon for the last 4 years. All right? And we also have Run Boy Run, which is where we find out that we have time-traveling assassins coming after one of the children who moved forward in time but is now back in time to warn people about the apocalypse. And we also have a knife-wielding brother that we learn in Extraordinary who wants to cover up for Mom being a bad mom, who's a robot, by the way. Boy, that really reminded me of the Robin Williams movie Toys, where his sister's a robot, and you find out at the end. So this thing went like a million directions all at one time, but with no plan whatsoever as to what was actually going to happen. And you really weren't interested in any of the characters except for two. All right? Two characters I was interested in, and the only two that had any acting ability whatsoever. One, the 13-year-old kid. All right, that time traveled. I found him interesting. I thought that the plot for him was good. I thought that he could act his way out of a paper bag. Two, the drug addict. All right, he was interesting. I thought that his storyline was good. Those are the only two that you are going to care about. All right, absolutely the only two. Nobody else in this whole story. Okay, sorry, Monkey Boy. He matters. All right. The other one that I thought was somewhat interesting was Pogo. All right. And I thought, hey, Mike's got a brother and he got into a TV show. It's great. I never knew this before. All right. But, and I thought, well, we're going to have a lot of time with Pogo because he's going to be awesome. And, monkeys are 20 times stronger than people, so it's going to be a good time. But, of course, anyway, that happens later. So, this show, I ended up watching the whole first season. Hate watching it the entire time. All right? I only wanted to see the story of the drug addict. All right? I hate watched something like 16 hours of TV. Or at least 12 hours, whatever it is. All right? I've ruined my life. If you want your life to be good, don't even bother starting to watch this show. All right? It sucks. It's no good. Nobody in here deserves to be in a show ever. All right? And that's all that there is to it. This is a chunky puke. All right? That's what this is. It's a big old chunky puke.
Wow.
And I talk to people at work.
Wow.
They agree with me. Netflix, you wasted your damn money. You should have spent it on another season of Voltron or something. All right? Do something better. All right, we didn't need to spend an extra $1 in our memberships per month. Just didn't make this show. All right, so chunky puke for me.
Mike, I think you're correct. Well, maybe not. I mean, okay, I only did watch the first three because I ran out of time. And what I will say is that this is not a show that should be watched all at once. And people I have talked to who really liked the show did not watch it all at once. This is not a sit down in the morning and watch it straight through show. This is a watch at least a day in between. It has a very unique look. It's similar to other things I like. My thing about this kind of, if you've watched, what's the name of that thing? Oh, just a second. It's in my. Okay, we do have a review of this from McKenna, and she actually listed some shows this is like.
Which, by the way, if you ever want to review one of the shows that we're watching and send it in, feel free. show@ptrradio.com. Just watch it before our radio show. Send it in, and we will definitly read your review.
So there was that show from Brian Fuller a couple years ago about the pie guy. Like the guy who, if he touches his woman he loves, that she'll die. And
okay.
Anyway, it has a very unique look, and I do like this look. But it is the kind of thing where you cannot watch a lot of it. and that I think damaged the show for me. Watching the first 3 episodes in a row, I found that by the time I was getting through the third one, I was like, I just wanted to stop. Not because I didn't like the show, just it was too much. I needed time to digest and think about what was going on. That being said, actually, my least favorite character in the show is the druggie. The character who doesn't have any powers at this point is Ellen Page, or I think so. It's Ellen, and best known, I think, for Juno. Very good.
Or
actress.
playing Kitty Pryde in the X-Men movies.
Yeah, Juno's what I know her best for. Yeah, Ellen Page. Yeah. So I liked it very much. I think I'm going to have to rewatch them more slowly and get through the entire thing. The show might even make shnikes for me. At the moment, it is 2 behind shnikes, whatever that is, Mike. I'm not sure. It's in the smile, big grin, somewhere in there thing.
I think Smile.
Smile.
Yeah. It is definitely a divisive show, as we've just seen. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. Right off the bat, let me just say anything with a talking chimp that is as distinguished as Pogo, the shnikes is yours to lose. Since this is a series, I wasn't sure how I was actually going to review this. I mean, we stated we'd watch 3 episodes to review, which actually wound up being longer than a movie. These were hour episodes. So I'm thinking about rule changes related to this already. Can say that I got a lot of similarities to other shows after watching the first 3 episodes. Somebody asked me about it. I said it's kind of X-Men meets Harry Potter meets something not as good. The story was engaging enough from the first 3 episodes. It made me want to continue watching, which was a good thing. I feel like this cast of characters did work well together. Better than a lot of the other casts I've seen in other series lately. I also appreciate how the pieces of the puzzle came together slowly. So there wasn't any real aha moment, although there was some predictability. Example, as soon as they revealed the name of who they had to save, before they showed him, I knew who that was going to turn out to be. Also, once I realized that number 7 was taking pills, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm going to be very careful about how I phrase it. I kind of knew why, and that left me questioning what was going to happen, because that in and of itself is a pretty standard storyline in this genre. So let me talk about the individual characters. Obviously, I thought Pogo was awesome. Just the way the character played out, not his actions. I'm not speaking about their actions. The 13-year-old kid, very, very good actor. I appreciated his character. Moon Boy, as Shaggy referred to him, he was actually my least favorite. I felt he was very, he was almost too even-keeled. Although, when he did finally get drunk, I did think that part was kind of hysterical. I did appreciate the drug addict. Not in the beginning, towards the end, when he started maximizing his potential, that's when I started to like him, although I did appreciate his acting ability. I actually could have done without some of the future stuff, but I'm going to say reluctantly that I'm giving this a conditional shnikes.
Oh.
I'm saying conditional for 2 reasons. One, I do want to see how the second season plays out, if there is one, because there's a question of whether or not, based on the events, whether it's going to be a completely different cast of younger unknowns, or is it going to be the same cast that comes back? So it's a conditional shnikes if they go with a younger cast, and that cast carries the story well. The other is, like Colin said, do not binge watch this. Treat this like a regular TV show. Watch an episode, then come back after you've had a chance to process. Don't binge watch it like I did. That's why I said I'm giving it a conditional Schneikes, because I feel like it has that potential if I spaced it out the same way, kind of like what Colin said.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this cobbler redux here.
Yeah, except I think it's kind of the opposite cobbler.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I liked the cobbler.
Yeah, we both hated it.
And we both hated it.
Okay.
Well, but it's a turn. It's a twist on it.
Yes.
Because you
This
two
time-
both like it. I hate it.
This time we both loved it, and he hated it.
Nah, I can't stand it.
Okay, I will read.
Hot steaming garbage.
I will now read McKenna's review.
Except Pogo. Pogo was good.
Don't suck up to me now.
I'm just saying.
I will preface this review by saying that I grew up reading an unfortunate series of events, and so many of Daniel Pinkwater's wonderfully quirky books. I watched every Tim Burton film I could find, and this is true. As a child, I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show and Dark City more times than I'd care to admit. And as an aside, yeah, she basically binge watched Rocky Horror like over and over and over again. I have always sought out these films and television shows that are hyper-realistic, wonderfully dark, and playful, such as Pushing Up Daisies, Dead Like Me, and now The Umbrella Academy. The Umbrella Academy is pure fun. It is self-indulgent and quirky in the best of ways, but also deep and troubling at the same time. The plot was created with a hammer in one hand and a feather quill in the other. The overarching plot is known from the very first scene. The apocalypse is coming, but how we get there is a detailed and arduous journey. I personally am a fan of long drawn-out character backstories and journeys, and there are no lack of those in this show. One of the things I love most about the Umbrella Academy is the use of time travel. I dare say that the use of time travel is one of the best I've seen in film. With one fell swoop of the time travel plot hammer, everything we've learned about the show can be wiped out and started over. I like that there really isn't a true evil baddie. It is refreshing and fun. The actors are also fantastic. Cameron Britton, who plays Hazel, may be one of my favorite new actors. And if you have not seen him in Mindhunter, you need to. Also, Aidan Gallagher from Nickelodeon show Nicky, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn as number 5 somehow perfectly pulls off being a 60-year-old man in a teenager's body. The Umbrella Academy is everything I desperately search for in a show, and like so many other shows in this genre before, it has been renewed for a second season. This is a show that was written specifically for me as a demographic. The comic book was written by Gerard Way, who is from My Chemical Romance, which is a very popular emo band from my teen years.
Yep. Okay, so I would assume that she gives it Schneikes for her then.
Yes.
So, All right. So that's this week's done. And that was, Umbrella Academy was kind of a must-have for this week's. So that means we're back to picking two picks. Mike, what are we at? 38 still?
31.
31. Boy, we're whittling them down. We better come up with some other ones. All right. 2.
Hold on.
By the way,
this is still available.
By the way, I downloaded one that I thought we should watch, but since it's not available anywhere, I won't make us.
Yes!
What?
This may be the first ever possible double puke.
Triple puke.
Because we made a rule last show that we would not watch a sequel or a subsequent movie without watching the original.
Right.
I am happy to say that we watched the first part of this one already and reviewed it.
Okay.
Number 2 is Atlantic Rim Resurrection.
Oh.
A sequel to Atlantic Rim.
Yes.
Now, let me look it up.
It's so bad I may have to watch the first one again.
Amazon.
Oh, I think I kind of remember that one.
So our original reviews were Shaggy gave it a puke. Mike gave it a cough, which was puke plus 3. And I gave it asylum, which was puke minus 25.
Oh.
Which I guess has been revised now to kill it with fire.
Yes. Yes, we watched that. Oh, my God. We reviewed that over 2 years ago.
Well, it's definitely time then.
This could not have gotten any better.
All right. 18.
Yes, I am so loving these picks. Oh, my God. My prayers have been answered. This one is also on Prime Video. Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
Are you sure that's not on Pornhub? Because it sure sounds like it should be.
For the record,
Oh,
throwing that out there.
Oh. Okay.
Well, this has actual people in it.
Molly Ringwald is in
Yes.
this one. And Peter Strauss.
Michael Ironside.
Yes. Okay. So this one should be good. Oh. As Overdog. Ernie Hudson.
Oh, yeah, Ernie Hudson's in this, too. I forgot about that.
Was it? How come when I looked that up, an associated link is Star Raiders, The Adventures of Saber Rain? I wonder if they're super similar or if one inspired the other.
Okay, I have a confession. I have seen this movie many times.
Okay.
In fact, I saw this movie in the theater in 3D. Back when it was red and blue 3D.
I wonder if I've seen this.
It's very possible. I think we should still do it.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been forever if I have.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been really forever if I have. But I would love to, because I love watching movies where I go, oh, I remember this kind of.
Yeah.
In fact, like I said, I grabbed a movie the other day, which I'm thinking about adding to our list, Bikini Girls versus Dinosaurs.
Do what now?
I thought you'd say that. Dinosaurs. Let's see if I can find them. Yes, here it is. So just to give you an idea, here. Oh, I can't flip to it easy. Hold on. There's the box art, Mike. or lack of box art, because there's no way there's a box for this.
Speaking of box art,
yeah.
Hey Mike, guess what this is?
Yay!
As soon as I finish filling it up with the stuff from here, it will be on its way to you. And so that should be happening tonight.
Unlikely that I'll be able to give it to him on Sunday. But that's okay. I'll meet up with them.
So, yep. All right. So those should be a couple of good, fun B movies. We haven't had those in a while.
Like I said, I think it was last time or time before I said I was almost looking forward to an Asylum film.
Yeah.
Because I was getting kind of tired of
real films
with, feelings.
Actors. I just want to be able to mock fun at people, really. That's what we do best.
I think Space Hunter is credited as one of Molly Ringwald's first lead roles.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, look at how young she looks there. I mean,
yeah. Oh, I'm sure. All right. Folks, that has wrapped it up for this episode of PTR Radio. I want to make sure and everybody knows this Saturday night I will be in Buffalo doing a trivia night for the Tri-City Library. I will be emceeing Buffalo, Illinois.
Okay.
Yes. No,
I did not know that existed.
Yes. Nope. The Tri-City area of Buffalo, Dawson, and Mechanicsburg,
That's why I've never heard of it.
So I will be there running trivia night. Teams of 8. You can get a table for $100. $100. Not a bad deal. Or $15 a person if you don't get a whole table. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, maybe.
Game Child.
So
it is actually it is on the list.
Okay. So that's going to be my next appearance, and then after that, I am doing a private gig, probably the beginning of June, I think. So unfortunately, that one's not open to the public, but that's a 3-day convention that I'll be doing. So big deal on that one. But with that said, we really want you guys to subscribe to the podcast. Go to our website, ptrradio.com. It's got all the subscribe links for whether you're running an Android, whether you're running an iPhone. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, download every episode. That's also got all of our social media information for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Don't forget, we're at 97 Twitter followers right now, or 93. I could really use a boost up to 100, whatever it is. Just help us get to those triple digits. And maybe, who knows, we'll get blue check mark verified. That sure would be nice. All right. Otherwise, just follow us. And Colin, we didn't even talk about Lewis Black that we went and saw last night.
No, we didn't.
But that was a good time.
We went and saw Lewis Black last night.
Yep.
That was very fun.
And Mike, we have another place when Colin and I come out and visit you in, actually it's in New York that we want to visit, so we may have to make a trip. But it's the Comedy Museum, the All-American Comedy Museum. 30,000 square feet of comedy-related material, everything from animation to stand-up. And they've got a whole room dedicated to nothing but George Carlin. His daughter actually donated a lot of his stuff.
All the stuff.
All of his stuff.
Cool.
So, very nifty place. I checked it out a little bit today online. So, anyway, with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the Ape Man.
All right, folks, we will see you again on the 15th. Till then, be good. Bye.